You watch the news and there's storms somewhere in the south or in the west. Oh, that'll never happen here. Well, yeah, it was just our turn, I think.
Closed for the season. Signs at orchards that usually come down in early to midsummer once fruit is ready to be picked. But for at least 60 orchards in Pennsylvania, these are signs that will not come down this year.
They're not going to open their market at all. They're closed for a whole year. It is demeaning, and to go through the rows and there's no fruit on them, nothing. We're not used to that.
Fruit farmers are well aware that they chose a profession that comes with a tremendous amount of risk.
We are actually gambling. We don't need to go to Las Vegas because we're doing it right here at home.
The Boyer family has been growing fruit in Bedford County since the 1950s. But this spring, Mother Nature had the deck stacked against Pennsylvania fruit farmers like they have never seen before.
The magnitude of the cold air that came at us was just unbelievable. Something I've never experienced.
Fruit trees become very vulnerable to cold weather once buds crack open and green tissue becomes visible.
Our rule of thumb is normally we don't see green tissue till the end of March. Well, this year it was the middle of March because we had too many 80-degree days in March and 60-degree nights. And that just, the trees, they can't stop. They just kept coming. And so we were 2 weeks early to begin with.
Fast forward to the night of April 7th, as a burly area of Canadian high pressure nestled into the northern mid-Atlantic. Temperatures plummeted into the upper teens and low 20s, where delicate fruit buds were just waiting to get walloped.
It seemed to wipe out any of the stone fruits, peach, cherry, nectarine, apricots.
While southern PA farmers started to assess potential stone fruit losses, they remained optimistic about some of their other crops, like pears and apples, since most of them did not begin to bloom just yet. But it wouldn't be long. Just a few days later, record warmth arrived, and 80s and 90s took over the state, jump-starting the rest of the fruits in southern PA and jump-starting all fruits in northern PA. Then came the night of April 20th. Record cold descended on the Commonwealth, sending the temperatures tumbling into the teens and low 20s again.
The second freeze, then, it took the pears out and really thinned the apples, ones that were out.
By taking advantage of ridgetops, orchards can often help their trees to avoid the worst of a spring frost or freeze. But for many Pennsylvania fruit growers, these trees were no match for the magnitude, depth, and duration of the late April chill this year.
Most of our orchards are on top of Chestnut Ridge, which was a 400 feet elevation difference, and the warmer air is up there. But with the freeze, it was so cold in the atmosphere that there wasn't any warm air to be had. The cold, it was just everywhere, permeated all of our blocks and in the trees, and they were almost the size of peas, the fruitlets, and it froze them solid and turned the seeds brown, and they just fell off then.
For a state in which fruit farmers routinely produce more than $500 million annually, this spring's weather whiplash was truly devastating. The Pennsylvania Farm Bureau conducted a survey to examine the extent of the damages. 87% of fruit growers reported a loss of at least 25%, 2/3 reported a loss of at least 75%, and nearly 1/3 reported a total crop loss. The Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture is predicting statewide losses of approximately $200 million, and it will be felt by consumers.
Any peaches of any volume, that if you're looking for them, you have to go to either North or South Carolina, and doubled in price.
For apples, you should still find some, but they might not be your go-to varieties.
Seemed like Red Delicious and Honeycrisp got really cooked by the two freeze events. We have Cortland, McIntosh, and Goldens, and Fuji, and others that we have a crop on them. Not maybe as much as we'd like, but there's a crop on some. We only have one chance of setting a crop, right in April or May while they're blooming or whatever. And if we don't get the right opportunities, to set a crop from the weather, that's it till the next year. We have an engine running here with our business, and we need, fruit to keep our engine going. I still think we would have been all right if we wouldn't have been 2 weeks early.
A majority of growers have crop insurance to help offset some of the losses, but it certainly won't cover it all, leaving many in a cloud of uncertainty.
We're all going to tighten our belt and cut back because we won't have the income coming in. And the other concern that I have is some of the guys, I call them my additional sons. We really have good employees, and if we don't have work for them, it's more of a personal as far as our employees is what I get concerned over, because whether picking, harvesting, pruning, it's all done by hand.
Dedication and resiliency, two qualities that define fruit growers, as some are forced to already look beyond a frustrating 2026 and cautiously await a more forgiving 2027. But for the next few months, trees with no fruit, rows with no people, and in some cases, orchards with no hours of operation will all be a constant reminder of a growing season that fruit farmers would much rather forget. Many months of excitement, anticipation, and hard work largely wiped out in a matter of hours on 2 April nights when
it was just pretty dang sub-freezing cold.
For Weather World, I'm Ben Reppert.